We're on.
Welcome back to Bring Back the Red and Black, the only podcast taking you through one delusional man's journey to become president of the soon-to-be great again Essendon Football Club. I'm your host, Ryan Kerwood, and with me, as always, is the future president, the Don Shell. How are you, Don?
I'm really good. Have we ever felt this good after a 70-point loss? Name a time in the last 15, 20 years where a 70-point loss has ever felt this good.
Yeah, a good 70-point loss.
And I know it might be the 7 or 8 beers. I know it might be the Sangiovese. And I know it might be spending more quality time with the Oracle. But I don't think we were that bad today.
We're always a better pod when we've got Oracle live in the set.
Yeah, huge. And we will introduce him properly one day. He did turn down the opportunity to come on face to face with his crowd. But it will come. And it's probably an off-season pod. Probably when we get some of the boys on as well.
Yes, yeah. Look, our fans loved the intern, but it's good to have the Oracle back.
It is. It feels right.
Yeah. For those joining us on the live stream tonight, yes, we've got a few footy cards here. We opened up a packet of 2007 AFL footy cards. You've landed with a great Fletcher.
I have landed with the great Dustin Fletcher, who was at the game today. He was at the meet and greet. It was him.
Next to Gumbleton.
Next to Gumbleton. I didn't see anyone come up to Gumbleton. There wouldn't be many kids that would know what Scott Gumbleton looks like.
If there's no little on someone's back, it's probably not Scotty Gumbleton.
No. But Dustin Fletcher was getting enough attention, and I know he still cares about it. He's still there and thereabouts when we talk about the Essendon Football Club.
He's big team herd, isn't he?
I think he is. I think everyone in deep down now has like a bit of them that's team herd.
Yeah.
Even the haters.
Yeah. Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
We just need something.
So you were saying for those on the live stream, the way the pod works, and shout out to all our fans. Thanks for all the mailbag questions as well. And we're going to answer a few, not on this episode because we don't have time. We've got so much to talk about. We've written down some things that we spoke about during the 60 to 70 point loss.
72-point loss, yeah.
Quarter one is review the game. The game just happened. Marvel Stadium graveyard shift. Quarter two.
On Marvel Stadium, are we going to tell the fans about the great Marvel Stadium hack?
This is maybe one of the reasons we're in such good spirits. And it's not the Smoking Joe's pizza we ordered, which was about a 6 out of 10. It's not the Sangiovese.
It's again, Smoking Joe. Any relation to Mercedes?
No, not related to Mercedes in any way. We did get Medallion Club tickets, but let's put that aside for a second.
Because we left Medallion Club.
We left Medallion Club because we saw something out there in the ether. We go, wow, that looks like an amazing bar. That's right behind us. And they go, no, you have to exit to the public bar.
Yeah.
There is a public...
Back to our people.
Back to where the people, and we got recognised 6 or 7 times. Back to our people and aisle 48, Ryan, aisle 48, there is a bar right behind the goals where the glass is essentially touching the back seat of level 2. You're not far off.
So for fans, where Huss kicked his goal from, we're basically reaching out.
We're reaching out there, and the glass is so clear that it feels like you're actually more like aisle J or aisle H.
Yeah.
And you can have a clean glass, so you're not having the plastic.
Oh, it's mid-strength though, surely.
No, not mid-strength. Every single beer you could think of on tap that you would expect at a football ground. We're not at a brewery.
Yeah.
And so we're just sitting there. I think we had 5 or 6 from the end of quarter one till the end of quarter 4.
So this episode's brought to you by... No. We promised the people we're never going to be sponsored, right?
No, we're never going to be sponsored. I'm going to be president because it's an unpaid role. And no matter how popular we get, and we're going to get unbelievably popular, this is going to be the #1 fan pod in the country. We are never going to take a sponsorship. You can bookmark that. However, if that bar wants to sponsor us in aisle 48, we would consider it and still turn it down. But it was an unbelievable experience when you're seesawing and trying. We tried very hard today, and you get to have that little Marvel hack that the Oracle like to call. That makes me not think that Marvel Stadium is the worst stadium in the world anymore.
Yeah. I think we're on the up.
We're on the up.
Q1, we'll review the game, which this is it.
Yeah.
The bar. Q2.
Quarter 2 is the upcoming game, which we're not going to spend a lot of time on because we're going to play Geelong at the Cattery.
At the Cattery, yeah.
So we got a list of things we spoke about today that are going to cover us once we go through the changes. Quarter 3 is usually off field. And it is a bit of a mix of different things, usually held by Ryan, who loves his off-field stuff. And then quarter 4 is a genuine smorgasbord.
So quarter 3, we may as well sneak it. Yeah. We're going to talk through the coaching race.
4 left.
Yep, the 4/5.
Allegedly left.
5.
4/5.
Quarter four's fun.
Yes.
So 8,000 days we've passed since our last
Yeah,
win.
2 days ago, 3 days
2
ago.
days ago?
Yeah.
So 8,002 days
Yeah.
since we've won a final. We're going to go 1v1 of that team versus
The team that played today.
today's team.
Yeah.
And a bit of where are they now? Oracle loves a bit of LinkedIn stalking. So we've got some good stuff
And
there.
he's got his own mic. He's going to be very ready for where are they now. To be honest, he didn't even need to do any research.
Yeah. So I assume most fans are like us at this point where we don't really care about
The wins and losses.
Yeah.
Well, the season's done. We got the GWS win, and then we got the number one pick.
Exactly. We'll talk about it. So we're about to jump into Q1, but like if you want to skip ahead 20 minutes into the Q3, Q4, some good stuff. But Julie, blow that siren. Let's get into Q1.
There it is.
Goods. Good. 72-point loss. You're very happy.
I'm happy because I'm not happy, but I again, this wasn't an embarrassing set. There's a different type of 72-point loss.
Yes.
And we've been on the receiving end of quite a few, let's call it 10 goal plus losses. There's ones where you look like the players just don't want to be there. I didn't feel that today.
They play with a bit of heart.
They played with a bit of heart. Dyson Sharp has had 3 of the best games you can have in a row.
Love the haircut.
Win,
Nice.
93-point loss, 72-point loss. As good as a young player can play, I think. And I want to take that to the bank. Like, I'm convinced he's a 200-game player. You cannot convince me otherwise.
When at the start of the year, like the 5 draftees we had, now 6 with Artemis, did you think he would be the standout?
No, I was, when we were going through the draft last year and we all celebrated Sully Roby, my favourite, and I'll say this openly, and I wouldn't say I was wrong because I was right about those two, but I was going to be so filthy at Essendon if we picked Sharp ahead of Roby and Farrow in the draft.
That was the risk.
That
Not
was the
ahead
risk.
of Roby, but ahead of...
Yeah, ahead of Farrow, because I'm like, Sharp could go either way. He could be what he's turned out to be, or he could just be a plotter, like a Ben Hobbs type, or love Ben Hobbs, but AFL plotter. And so when we didn't make that decision, that was one of the happiest days of my life. And then I said, you know what? Whatever happens with Dyson Sharp, I don't really care because we got the players that I think we should get. And Farrow, again, today, I'm not going to say it's one of his best games, but he's such a natural footballer.
I love when the ball's in his
You don't think about not choosing him to play every week. I don't even think about him, whether he played well or not. I'm like, he's just in the team.
Yeah.
But I was so convinced that we had to pick players ahead of Sharp just because I wasn't sure. Now I can see why so many other clubs and other people wanted to pick him.
Yeah.
Because he was averaging 27. He was the captain of his side.
Ticked every box.
But we know that doesn't always translate.
Yeah.
And I was probably in the camp where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure that translates. First game, you were one of the doubters, so was I, but I didn't say anything. And then since then, every opportunity that he's really been given, and especially obviously in the last 3 rounds, it's a pretty special player that we have that can hold his own in against any midfield already.
He could just be as he is right now.
And I'd be happy.
For the rest of his career.
Yeah.
For like next 200 games.
Yeah, 21 possessions.
Fine.
And he's at every clearance and he's either tackling or he's the guy that's held in or he gets it out.
And he's only going to get better. So, very excited. I agree. Sharp's a good one. I did have him on my list as well. We've got to recognise Peter Wright.
We do. I've said this to you many times. I think he's too slow to be our long-term key forward.
Yep.
But he's now kicked 6 goals in so many games for Essendon.
Well, yeah. Can we just play him at Marvel?
Yeah, because
we don't take him away. We don't play him at the G. Purely Marvel.
It's hard to kick 6 goals. I sometimes look at his games.
Well, forget Telstra Dome, Peter Dome,
and he did. He's I don't know. We looked it up. So he's kicked 6 goals, 6 games. 3 of them in bad losses, like today.
How many players have done that, by the way?
No, it's genuinely impressive. Now, has he kicked 0 goals in a lot of other games? Absolutely, as a key forward. But we're not going to count that, and it's much harder.
As captain.
As a left foot captain. He's kicked 6 in 6 games. You called out one of them. It was the Bulldogs win from 2021.
We never beat the Bulldogs.
We never beat the Bulldogs. And I called out the last one, which is West Coast, when we were just awful and we just snuck home by 1. But he kicked 6 there. And then the others came in tonight, another 70-odd loss and a 30-odd loss. But He's kicked six times for the Essendon Football Club,
There you go.
and I don't rate him as a forward. Maybe that says more about me.
And if he didn't get injured this year, he would probably win our BNF.
He'd be right up there.
But as a ruckman, still a magic.
You've got to give him, and from all accounts, his training standards are really high. So even if I don't think he's going to be in our forward line of our next premiership team, bloody hell, he deserves to be on the list.
And what did we give up for him?
Nothing, really.
Nothing. And maybe he's getting paid a lot, but who else are we
I
paying?
can imagine how frustrated he'd be by some of the training standards of other players that would normally just make you be like asking for a trade. And he stayed around. He's kicked 6 goals in a game like this again, and he was really good to start the year as a backup ruckman floating forward. He got partially done by the AFL, made as a scapegoat for when he needs someone in the back on a searching lead. He got 4 weeks. That still annoys me. Still annoys the shit out of me that he got 4 weeks. Peter Wright, you're there for the next 3-4 years. Hopefully, you can see that window open.
Yeah. You like, even if he's only getting picked on form, or as I hope, only getting picked at Peter Dome, fine.
And we were talking about the names today. You got Colonial Stadium. Lloyd kicked the first behind. Oracle.
Michael Long kicked
the first goal. Lloyd kicked 7. Then it moved to Telstra Dome, which is all of our favourites' name. It was great calling it the Dome.
Yeah, the Dome's good.
And then what did it move to after that? It moved to
Etihad.
Etihad / whatever, Emirates Stadium. Etihad.
Was it ever?
It was. I don't think it was Emirates, but the Oracle has one of those unique memories like Berenstain Bears. And then now it's by far its worst name, Marvel Stadium. And they only started playing, I think, the fake sound or the fake crowd noise since it's become Marvel. But maybe it was Etihad. I don't know.
Yeah, fake noise.
It sucks down there. And it was another 8,000 to 12,000.
Yeah. But we found the great hack. So, yeah, Peter Wright, very good. Dyson Sharp, very good. Loved Huss's game.
He's the only small forward on our list right now that can actually count himself as a small forward.
Yeah.
Because we've already given Kako a serve last week.
To see him when we drafted him, like, great, that'll be good. Because, like, if you remember, for those real deep in the draft, so we had 2 NGA players. We had Swede and us, who went much later. We missed out on Swede. Swede isn't even getting in Fremantle's VFL team.
Yeah.
Yet Huss is playing. And look, that's a big difference where we're at the bottom of the ladder, they're at the top. I get it.
But it's still the VFL. Should be. We rated him much higher.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Why did he slip so far? Like, he's legit. He's an AFL forward.
I'm sure every AFL podcast right now has the exact same player like Huss that slipped that far. So I'm not that surprised about that. What I am surprised about is that he's still not fit, but he is at least doing all the things you can do at whatever fitness level that he has. And he's a genuine goal sneak. We just don't have them.
Because I was trying to watch him a little closer today because we had the great seats in the bar.
Yeah, aisle 48.
Just easy to watch the pocket. Because like you want to see what his opponent does on him. Like if you have to worry about him. Like, because if Huss kicks 2 has 8 touches, but his opponent has 34. Not great.
Yeah.
His opponent had to worry about him because he was getting to dangerous spots and his patterns were good. So that's a natural footballer. We've got a player.
Well, I know we haven't said any bad, but I'm going to take this as an opportunity
one more
now.
good.
Okay, one more good.
Is Artemis a player?
I'm sold that you have to give him at least the next 2 years to figure it out.
Shit.
Because we've given Archie Perkins 6. We've given Nick Cox 6. We've given all of these. He's been given 3 games. Everything he did today, even though he missed a goal he should have had, everything was with conviction. Can you say that about Essendon players over the last 5 years? You cannot say that about most of our players. They just do not have They have no confidence in any of their
This is the
abilities.
best thing I've ever heard. You've got to give him 2 years because he played half a quarter.
No, he was all right last week. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying you've got to give him 2 years blind. I'm saying that he deserves, if we're going to give players, and I do think you have to give players 2 years on a list before you can figure out whether they're good or not. I'm not saying give them 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
I meant 2 years worth of games.
No, sorry. I meant on the list. Like, he can play between the VFL and AFL, whether he's deserved. But you cannot drop players after a year. We know that.
Yeah.
But I'm big on don't give them 4 or 5 or
2.
6.
Yeah.
Give them 2.
Is an AFL.
I wish we made decisions. I wish we made decisions after a lot of our players after 2 years.
Oracle, who was his player comparison
He was Nick Blakey 2.0,
Nick Blakey 2.0. So Nick Blakey's nickname is
the lizard,
is Artemis the Gecko.
the brick lizard. I've heard.
The brick lizard. Now, while we're on nicknames, and I know the siren might be going soon, but we have a player doing okay in the VFL this year, Jarayan?
Gail Durin.
Yeah, Kale Durin. Now, you, the Oracle, we were 6 pints deep when you brought this up, but you told me that in pre-draft assessments of Kale Durin, he had buddy-like qualities. Can you confirm that anyone in the world has ever said that he had Lance Franklin buddy-like qualities?
Draft Guru, who I often frequent their page, and Kale Durin was said to have Buddy Franklin-like qualities.
What are the qualities? That he breathes air?
That he likes birds. Well, that is. Does he? From what you've said, you're a VFL aficionado. You're
walks upright.
I do watch him in the VFL, and I watch him closely. I can't actually remember if he's a left or right footer. But he moves well for a big guy.
Yeah, so that's it. All right. How long do we have?
Actually, I didn't really have any bads.
I mean, we lost by 12 goals.
Because and why I didn't have bads? I was trying to look eye tests weren't heaps of bads, but there's the siren. Statistically, I was like, oh, okay, where did we lose today's game? Like stat by stat, they were all fairly even. So why did we just lose because they're a more mature body team, that more cohesion? Why did we get pumped?
I think significant experience and then significantly better top end talent that was available.
Like Rankin kicking 3.
Yeah, Rankin, Thilthorpe kicked 4.
Yeah.
Like Dawson, these players are better than our players. Yeah. And Merritt's our best players checked out. There's a few reasons for that. And I showed you the live ladder. They needed this now they're the favourite ahead of Brisbane to finish top 4.
Yeah.
Because they leaped, they were behind them on percentage before today.
Wow.
Okay. So that's the siren from the Oracle. But I just want to go back to Huss for a second.
Okay.
And I'm going to stare down the barrel of the camera. The best small forward in the league allegedly right now is Nick the Wizard Watson. I've got something to say about Nick the Wizard Watson. I think he is unbelievably overrated.
Wow.
I don't think any team has actually put any effort into closing down Nick Watson once. They block for him. They do everything to get him free. I think as soon as a team puts in some effort into stopping Nick Watson, he's got a 0 goal, 3 or 4 disposal game in him in a critical final, walking off, holding his hips at 161 centimetres or whatever he is. And I think this whole rhetoric around him being a top 10 player in the league that some of our pundits are talking about is the most fanciful and ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Watch it right now. One of these 3 finals coming up, because Hawthorn are a good team. The Wizard is going to absolutely lay a goose egg. You've heard it here first. I'm not saying Huss is going to be better than the Wizard. The Wizard's still a good player, but he is currently very overrated.
Huss better than Wizard.
Did we write that down?
Quarter 2. Quarter 2.
That was an after the siren kick.
Yeah.
That really was.
The issue with doing this podcast straight after the game is you don't get all the outs. So,
no.
As far as we know, Clark got knocked the F out. So I'm tipping he's not playing for the rest of the year.
He's decent.
I'm a big Red Pup fan.
Yeah. He shows enough. He genuinely shows enough.
Yeah, he's got some go. And it was interesting. We're playing him as a forward for a bit today. It'd be good to get that string on his bow because the wing can get pretty congested, can be a pretty lonely place. So it'd be good for him to have some options. But he's out. Any other outs from?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone necessarily massively knocking down the door. I don't get why Nguyen just doesn't at least get an opportunity.
You're obsessed with him.
I am. He's in the Vietnamese team of the century with the 2 others that have played.
On the pod?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Jaden, if you're a fan,
Jaden, we would love to have you on the pod. We think you played 3 or 4 really good AFL games and were harshly done by.
Yeah.
And it's clear to me that if he's not getting games now, he's almost certainly delisted at the end of the year.
I think so, yeah. Which is
sad. Which is sad because he hasn't been terrible, and he wasn't terrible when he was in the AFL. We've had way worse players. I don't know. Look, what do you how was Harry Jones today?
Had some moments, but the concerning thing for me is he's on his last chance saloon. Like
Yeah.
we've thrown him down back. He looked all right there. He dropped a couple of marks early, whatever. But then then moved him up forward. He did kick a goal, but yeah, just commit to something. And it's great to be a swingman, but be locked down one position before you've got that move. Like Hooker, one of the best swingmen.
Yeah.
What is he doing down here?
Yeah, what's he bloody doing there? He's bloody kicking goals.
Yeah.
Now,
Hold on. So Clark out. We've only got no other outs.
I don't think so because we don't have many ins.
Yeah. Well, I do have an in. I've got an interesting in. So one forced out, but no, we're not dropping anyone.
No.
Oracle, anyone?
Kako?
You could one tackle again.
Last week in the VFL, I know we're not a big fan, but Jade Gresham's doing everything right. And what's Kako doing?
I wrote this down, and I've got the laptop out for another thing, but I've wrote this down. Isaac Kako, I said it last week, so I'm not going to double down on the same thing, but he doesn't have the forward craft that I see of Huss, and we were having this discussion about how he even snaps the ball. There's just not like a natural small forward.
Yeah.
We had one of our great Bring Back the Red and Black fans message in this week after the Kako thing, and shout out Scooter McNeese as well. He said, just give him time, and I'm not giving up yet. But the fan message in goes, our Nuffy group believes he's going to be closer to Dion Prestia than he is to a small
The meatball.
The meatball.
Wow.
And I love to hear that because I was trying to figure it out in my own head, and I do think he's more of a midfielder. I do think because of the way he moves through traffic, there's something there.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can teach small forward craft. It's just one of those things I hate. It's the most Australian football saying ever when someone knows where the goals are and they know how to kick them. He doesn't. He does against, he can do it against, he's a very good AFL football player. So he's been able to do it in certain circumstances throughout his junior career.
Yeah.
When it gets to the AFL, from everything I've seen in the first few years, and that's a pretty big sample size now. We're not talking just 10 games. He's not, to me, a clear small forward. So I think there is this opportunity for him to develop.
First year?
I think 2 years ago. But this is year 3.
Yeah.
We're giving, again, we are enough rope with Andrew Denton.
Last year was his first year.
Was it?
Yeah.
And he played every game.
And he played every game. And he was pretty good in a bad team.
I think you're being really harsh on him.
I know, but did he kick many goals? No. He didn't. And once again, okay, let me ask you this. I'm
So pause it. You're not saying he's not in our best 22.
No, I'm saying he's in the best 22.
You're talking about where to play him.
Yeah. Tell me a small forward in the league right now that doesn't kick goals that you think is good. Like they don't go hand in hand. They don't exist.
Paul Curtis?
He kicks through two a game, Paul Curtis.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He kicks 2 a game. He gets suspended for 3 games every game.
Brian Myers?
Brian Myers plays so far up the wing and half forward that it doesn't count.
Well, can he play that role?
I think he can. I think I'd rather try him in those sort of roles because I'm telling you, I know I said it to you, and it might be harsh, but the snap today across the goal face and the snap today against Hawthorn, neither of those were close to going in. And they are bread and butter.
Yeah, Huss just nailed it.
Huss just nails it.
Shelling peas.
But that doesn't mean that I think...
Shelving peas?
Yeah, I don't think Huss is a better player than Kako. I think we're just putting him in the wrong area for now. And I think he has all the tools to be a really good AFL player. Let's figure it out together.
So the halal meatball. I like
it. that wasn't written down. I don't think the halal meatball. Yeah.
Clark out. No, I like it. I like Prestia. I like the Prestia comparison. Very good.
But you had an interesting in, you said.
Well, I put an out. I put an in.
Yeah, in. I don't know how we got away from that for so long.
No, we did. You said the out. So maybe Gresham.
Maybe, or the onion comes out as well.
Oh, well, yeah, the onion didn't really. I mean.
Oh, he's all right.
He's fine, but... Like, again,
you know,
we speak about the going to bed and waking up. If I can look any of you in the eye right now, and any of you tell me you're going to wake up with Reece Unwin when you're behind the Onion, and we talk about the nicknames as well, and I hope that's who you're bringing in. But we have the opportunity to either go with the Onion as a nickname or the Gresh Prince, one of my least favourite players. But if that's not the best nickname in the AFL, then you've got to tell me otherwise. The Gresh Prince, like, let's just bring the Gresh Prince in. Onion. Let's just get him out.
We've lost it. We've lost it. I'm going to keep the Onion in. Because you know when you're doing, like, you're cooking anything at home,
yeah.
and someone walks in like, oh, this smells good. It's always Onion. So
can you blow the siren early if possible? If I've got the shtick to do as well.
Okay, in a Brendan McMahon, he's been consistently
he has
2 to 6. I mean,
2 to 6.
Oh,
It's a big range. Yeah,
that's his outrageous.
I'm completely. The Gresh Prince has got me again. What a bad 700k deal this is. Okay, I agree. The Onion, the Onion. McMahon deserves it.
We've finally lost the fight.
We're not going to edit it as well.
No,
I've got to do this.
Raw.
Okay,
No,
this is we're bringing.
So why put McMahon's in and then you can do your shtick?
Okay,
He's been very shtick. So no, do it. McMahon's in.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to do it with the. Okay, so I've been thinking about this. We've got like a very young millennial group. A few people have said if you want to be the president, you've got to be a bit more tactful with how you speak about the players when they're not up to scratch. Yeah. So I thought about this and I thought, how am I going to help James Hird, Jamie Graham, or us?
We need a pause. Let's have a pause.
Let me get this out. How am I going to help them? We've got a lot of shit players, and we can't just look them down the barrel of the camera and say you're shit. So this is what we're going to do. Stop laughing.
No, we have to.
No. This is what we're going to do.
It's a live stream.
It doesn't matter. You bring him in. You go, please close the door. You're going to sit down over there, and then they go, what's up, coach? And you go, this is what's up. Oh, no good. I'm gonna say it again. It's no good. You're no good. Good. You're no good.
We waited a week for that.
That's all I want to do. Is just look Reece Unwin in the eye and just tell him. And like, I actually really like you as a human being, but Linda Ronstadt said it best. You're no good. Oh, fuck. It feels like we've had an edible, but we haven't. We really need to compose me quarter 3, quarter 4. But imagine you're sitting there, you go, I get it, coach. I'm no good. I'm no good. Oh, I need a wine top up here.
You say you message us. Like, I've got a great bit of podcast, and that's what it was.
I think it would work because it's an
obscure song from the 70s.
Linda Ronstadt telling Reece Unwin that he's just no good. Oh
wow! The season's got hold of you.
Okay, sorry. All right, let's go. We've got to really focus now. Quarter 3. We spoke about quarter 3. Oh, it's important. It's important to enjoy yourself through a very difficult year, and that's exactly what we're doing. So quarter 3 is about the 4-day 5 coaching candidates we have, and a few of them I would love to sing that song.
How are they? Yeah, how are they going to tell they don't get the job?
It'd have to be a Linda Ronstadt thing. So we obviously have the saviour.
Yes,
Jimmy Hird. We've got that.
Who are the 5?
Yeah, so we've got James Hird.
Not everyone is watching. There's too many footy shows, by the way.
Yeah, agreed.
How do you even bloody keep up with them all.
Oh, I'm so sick of some of them as well. Midweek tackle.
Do you watch any? Do you have any?
So I sit over there and I like 360, regardless of whether I
It's
think
really good you're pointing to where you sit.
Jared Waitley has not become a man of the people anymore.
So 360.
I watch 360, and then
Okay,
and then it
must be
often
nice. Must be nice.
drifts to on the couch sometimes, and I think whether or not that show has the gravitas it used to.
For us, free to wear type operators, anything you'd recommend?
I have no idea what happens on free to wear.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
And then I hate the midweek tackle, but it just sits there in the background. Yeah, look, let's just go through the coaching candidates. We've got James Hird. We've got another Jamie Graham, who we'll speak about very soon. We've got Spike,
our boy,
who we absolutely love.
We've been on Spike for a while.
And then we have who's the old bloke from
technically
Murray Davis?
Yeah, Murray Davis. And then who's the fifth?
Solomon.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think Dean Solomon puts his hands up.
Well, let's start there. So they've given Dean. He's got his interview, his coffee catch up this week.
Is that with Kevin Muscat or?
We'll get to Muscat.
No, I hope we don't get to Muscat. That's what I would love us to never get to Muscat.
I can't believe Muscat's the final boss to get the Essendon job. Dean's got his catch up this week to whether he's going to put his hand up. You said it during the week. Like, who are his mates telling him to go for this?
He knows he's not going to get the job.
Does he?
I don't know.
Because why? He had
I don't know what
opportunity this week to be like, no, I'm just going to I'm going to finish the year, look after the boys. I'm contracted next year. I'm make sure whoever set up the role, we're set up for 6
I don't mind. I think you're a competitive beast always. If you're in any of these roles, whatever it is, you knocking it down like once and for all means you have to like close that door once and for all. I think as a competitive person, I think that's really, really hard to do. I think that is much easier said than done from our position. I would love that to be the case but I think he believes that's the case, but just saying it is very different even to believing it because it makes it so finite.
Yeah.
And then it also says, I don't believe, like he believes he can be a head coach. And
I believe.
I also believe I don't think he believes he should be the head coach of Essendon right now.
Coaching for half a year,
correct. So what I think though is that him not coming out and saying it unequivocally doesn't actually mean anything. I think that's just a personal. It's just that you're a competitive person. You don't want to close the door to something like that because it also reflects when you're going for future jobs that hey, you didn't have the confidence even when you were in the role.
But you're talking. He was the one that emailed all the
right? And try to get them all together because he's like, we need solidarity.
Isn't that one?
Didn't he put the sausage sizzle on? That was a sausage sizzle.
He did bought a breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was sausage.
Isn't that the one Essendon thing? Like to sort of fall on your sword to a degree. To be like unless he's been tapped on the shoulder, like mate, you're a real chance of this. To be like, no, I want to set us up for success for the next guy.
Yeah,
just so. Like he's on board,
and maybe he will this week. Maybe he will next. I don't know.
You're right.
Maybe
that's all it takes this week.
Agreed. They said whenever it was, maybe it was less than a week ago, but that within 2 weeks we'll have an Essendon coach.
Yes,
they said that.
Okay, and are you in any way, shape, or form wanting Dean Solomon to be our head coach?
No, but not in a bad way. I just don't think he's ready. For the role. And I don't think he genuinely believes he's ready for the role. I think he's so good with the players.
If he had a Fraser type run, would you?
Yeah, it's a very different thing. But that's if my grandmother had wheels, it'd be a bicycle. Like it is that though. It is that. He didn't have a Fraser type run, and if Fraser had a Solomon type run, I can guarantee you he's not even remotely considered for that job.
Okay,
so then we're in the same boat.
So the four candidates.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Do we start with not the outsider, but this potentially the second favourite?
Well, first, we got caught the tram here and got a little preview from Ryan, who said for the first time in the last 2 months that you'd softened on Hurd, but you didn't explain why. So I've been stewing on that for the last hour. Yeah, I do want to start there
because we've spent the last 2 months together where you've never been. You came from that behind the scenes Lloydie and Hurd night.
Yes.
Where I don't think I could have ever convinced you that another person existed in the world except James Hurd.
Okay. Like, if you want the full scope of it, how long have I been positioning Spike Mcveigh to be coach?
For
Yeah.
a couple of years.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but after seeing Hurd talk about wanting to be coach.
And the way he speaks, the aura, the confidence, the
And how-
charisma.
How could you not be excited? And he spoke so well, such a good coach. Yeah. So the reason I said I've all of a sudden, I don't want him as coach. Like, I'm happy for it to be anyone but Hurd. Is I was just thinking about like all these other little ventures that he's got. Like, he does have like 4 or 5 businesses he sort of dips his toe in, and then there's media stuff, which I'm sure he'd give up if he was coach. But you can't give all of those businesses up overnight to be coach. So I'm just worried if you're distracted. As he's passionate, no doubt he'd be passionate about being Essendon, but if you're trying to be a coach in anything else outside of a coach, like, you can't do it. Like, you've just got to be a psychopath to be a successful coach and have to eat coaching for breakfast. And that's why on the tram on the way.
Why did it just hit you then, though? Like, what was there a trigger?
You were just talking.
I was talking about the scandal.
You were talking about the scandal, and just these little things that he's done since the scandal. We were talking about like, he went to Paris to hide and he still couldn't hide from it. It's like, he has a lot going on, doesn't he? Like,
I know, but the brilliant. I don't disagree with the sentiment, but I think, like you said, he will let the things go that he needs to let go, and brilliant people have 24 hours in a day compared to others. Like,
they've got more hours.
They do have more hours. If he, based on what you said that you saw, based on what we've even seen, let's make no mistake, he's not the most qualified. In fact, out of the 4,
is he not
most qualified for the coaching position as just a pure coach? I would say he's 4 out of 4.
What are you talking about?
But he's done like.
How's he not the most qualified out of the 4?
Because he's in the last 10 years he's had the least coaching experience.
Who's got the most coaching experience on the resume out of those 4?
So the other 3.
What are you talking about? How many of those 4 have been a head coach?
Yeah, but I'm talking about coaching experience is not just the head coach.
How many games has Murray Davis? No, what's his name?
Murray Davis.
How many games has Murray Davis coached?
Yeah, but
in the AFL.
Yeah, but that's head coach, and that was over 10 years ago.
Who was the?
I want her.
Who was the Northern Territory Thunder coach before Murray Davis? Like, I don't know.
I agree, but like, in the last 10 years, and you have to give some credence to this, the game changes so often. It changes every 3 or 4 years. He has done so little coaching. His only coaching stint has been at Port Melbourne as an assistant coach.
Since he coached.
Yeah. So on pure coaching, staying up with the times, and the whatever is the craft, the methodology, the strategies, the everything on paper. And again, I'm an advocate for other reasons, but I think we just bring Hurd in. He is the 4th most qualified coach out of those 4. And anyone outside
you might have to rephrase that, because
maybe I'm phrasing it wrong. Maybe recently qualified is maybe what I'm trying to say, based on recent qualifications. Because I guess if you talk about who's been a head coach or not, well, then it's a binary. It's a 1 or 0.
Yeah, well, that's the siren. But I think we should bleed into the 4th quarter.
We will bleed into the 4th.
So of the candidates, so we all know James Hurd.
Yeah.
I've been doing a bit of research this week. So,
which we love. That's why you're the producer.
And when you say you've been doing a bit of research, have you been watching Jamie Graham 2017 coaching interviews on YouTube or not?
I have been.
That's
so just to understand.
It's great.
And that was when you were also watching Cal Twomey 2023 Phantom Drafts.
I was comparing his May to July to September to November.
But you have
Phantom
2 children.
Drafts.
You're a lawyer. Anyway, tell us.
You've not told me the Cal Twomey thing. Go on.
Well, it was quite interesting. Sorry to sidetrack.
Sidebar.
But 2023.
Yeah.
I went back, and interesting, Archie Roberts was ranked about 15, 16 in Cal Twomey's Phantom Drafts in July, August, September.
Yeah.
September, no more games played.
Yeah.
Come
Dropped
November, he wasn't in his top 30, and we ended up drafting with pick 54.
Wow.
That is interesting. And you were watching that before or after the Jamie Graham 2017 coaching interviews?
That was this morning. Last night, Saturday night, was when I was watching Jamie Graham. But my point is, because I want to hear your thoughts, but I was trying to understand the different angles for each candidate.
Okay.
So what Jamie Graham, from what I've seen in these interviews on YouTube, is he's a very nurturing young player,
Cuddly.
caring,
Yeah.
cuddly type coach.
Yeah.
So the pitch would be, he's been in successful programs, West Coast when they won the flag, Fremantle now. It's a very young group that he'd resonate with the young guys, cuddly type.
Yeah.
Murray Davis, as Ryan said before, coached his own team, been around from Brisbane from the ground up, and potentially could be a package deal. We need a new head of football with Danny Daly, who's mates with him, who coach with him, and say, okay, well, he'd be the head of football, I'll be the coach. We're together.
That's a good deal.
Spike McVeigh was a development coach. He's been in New South Wales, Sydney,
GWS
and
Academy.
GWS.
Yep.
Academy coach.
Yep.
Been involved in successful programs for
Yeah.
10 years and loves the Bombers.
Yeah, absolutely loves it.
Loves them.
Like
which
he
I
was
think's
one of our
important.
first listeners to the pod.
And I think he's got a bit of mongrel in him as well.
I do. I agree with that.
We'd love to.
Mongrel and model.
So
I love that combo.
Yeah.
He was a male model.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone that doesn't want Hurd is passionately anti-James Hurd. I'm not anti-James Hurd. I'm just saying that these other candidates could be better. And going through them and understanding their pitch, I personally, I've softened on Hurd. And as I said, that Ron, you're president and you want us to be a good club. What would a good club do right now? Is my question to you.
Well, yeah, and we had this conversation, and I know we're over, but my answer to you was that if you take away all other factors, everything you're saying, both of you are saying, is absolutely correct. But that assumes we don't live in the real world, and the real world is the emotion and history and reality plays a part. And the reality I see, unfortunately or fortunately, because it could work out either way for us, is that no matter who gets selected, if it's not James Hurd, the circus at Essendon, whether we want to believe it or not, continues, especially in today's media age, and especially with James Hurd having a media role. You think James Hurd, if he doesn't get the role, is going to give up his footy classified role? He's not.
No.
So when Essendon selects another, so James Hurd lost the role to Brad Scott.
Yep.
When he loses again, if he does, you think not every single week that it will just be brought up? What would you do? Or did you hear James Hurd's comment? It is going to be one of the most painful things we will ever see as a football club. I've seen it. I can see this just absolutely derailing us. And then eventually we're just going to get Hurd in anyway. Do I think, again, that he is by far the best candidate just on job description? No. Do I think that, unfortunately, we've backed ourselves into such a corner that the reality is we just have to let this happen so that we can move on, even if it hurts our next few years? That is what I think as a president. Do I feel comfortable and amazing about that decision? No. But just get it out of our system in some way. And whether he will still inspire some of our players and he will still inspire some free agents to come to us. It's not going to be all bad, even if the results speak all bad. And it puts it to bed once and for all. If it goes to shit, we will never hear from James Hurd again at the Essendon Football Club. And that is a good thing. The other way is an even better thing. It will be the greatest Netflix documentary of all time if he takes us to the promised land. So I just think we're in a really difficult position where Jamie Graham is a better candidate on paper than James Hurd. But he is going to be in the media and compared to James Hurd every day until he loses his mind and he just is Leonardo DiCaprio on Shutter Island eventually. And I don't want to see that to anyone, but I just know how the media works. It's a brutal, brutal landscape out there. And as president, I'll sit there and make a difficult decision where I go, there are amazing candidates that might be better on paper, but I'm going to give it to James Hurd.
Yeah. Like if JB Graham, for example, or Murray Davis or Spike, it's going to beat Hurd, you've got to beat him in the interview by a
Yes,
way.
it's got to be a country mile.
Yeah, it's got to be, here's why he was our man by far.
It felt like when, I don't know, obviously what his pitch was during the Brad Scott process. It felt like he was just relying on the James Hurd.
So if you're
back then,
if you're Murray Davis, you Spike McVeigh, are you just looking at Korean football highlights to understand the tactics there so you can present well to Kevin Muscat? Or Jesus, what are we doing?
it's so embarrassing to hear that we brought in one of the most irrelevant people in the world, especially in comparison to AFL football, to be the final person to approve our, like, What does it say?
I'm right. He's coaching a Korean.
Yeah. What does it say about how what
Chinese?
Shanghai? What does it say about how
Oh,
we feel we're competent enough? Like, what are we saying about the coaching panel that we had before Kevin Muscat? That we say, hey, we don't think on your own you're competent enough to be able to select a coach. Like, it's so sad that we need to go through these meet like and I was told, was it you who were saying that it is like potentially an Andrew Welsh PR tactics, so that, or there's someone else telling me today that, so that if Herd goes wrong, for example, you can say, oh no, it was a group decision and Kevin Muscat signed off on it. So you can't, can you like
Kevin Muscat?
Yeah, just so sad.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
We'll blow the siren again.
we're gonna go over. It's gonna be a longer pod because we laughed for fucking an hour.
Two things. Firstly, what Ryan said earlier today, it really felt like that Simpsons movie.
Yeah, it's
Just watch, guys. He's about to do something stupid, and that's everyone else. What is its coaching process? What are they going to do?
why?
Is that on anyone's bingo card? Like,
Why?
it's like they're playing ad libs at Essendon Football Club.
If you have a good management team and you have a good selection panel, you go and empower them. You go, you guys are going to make an unbelievable decision because we've put you in this spot to do it, and here's the criteria, and we've set you up for success. We're not bringing in the Shanghai superstar who was an okay Socceroos from 27 years ago. We're not doing that. We're just not, you think.
And circling back to the fifth candidate, the half candidate, Ben Solomon, I think the pitch for him is, we're going to be shit for 2 years. Give me 2 years, I'll weather the storm. So my question to on the president is, if it is Curtis, and odds are we're going to be bottom for the next 2 years.
It's a great question.
Can I take this question to Don? Because this is why you would go for someone like James Hurd. And this is the point I was trying to raise at the game today. You can easily be pathetic right now and be like, yep, we're going to be shit because we've got a draft, we've got to build our list up. And I think this was the issue with Brad Scott, right? Like when he was doing his PR episode when he got fired, he's like, well, we had $3 million on the table left to spend. If you're commanding and you've got that presence and you've got that influence over a football club and you actually want to be successful and competitive all the time, you're going, well, let's spend the $3 million to be better by now because we'll have more money next year because we can move players out and we can spend it year on year and year. You try to be competitive every single year instead of trying to perfectly manufacture this list that's going to be perfect in 10 years' time. So that's why I think Hurd could be the man. Because who on the board is going to say no to Hurd saying, I want to spend $1.5 million on Toby Green right now? Because he can come in and help us day to day. He can help us.
These losers who don't want to be part of the winning culture.
He'll be our first non-nerd. He's our first non-nerd. He's going to get rid of all our nerds. And we're going to draft Archie Butler number 1, who's a Toby Green prototype. And Toby's going to groom him. Like, who's going to say no to Hurd who wants to spend overs on a Toby Green?
Here's the other thing. Just look at the state of the play today. So you have Gold Coast, who lost again today. You're going to finish 13th or 14th. They have a top 3 list. Go player by player against any other team in the league. They're either top 3 or top 2. Then you look at Collingwood, who are now pushing for top 6. They might have a 13th best place list.
Yeah.
And yet Nick Dacos didn't even think about leaving to Tasmania. Like, it really didn't. It lasted for 2 months, that room, the thing. Why? He's looking at the same list we are. He knows that, but he looks at the culture and he looks at the coach and he goes, people want to come to this club. Look, like, people, we're going to turn this around in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Flyers, like, I don't want draft picks, I want players.
And so that can happen to Essendon sooner rather than later with the right coach.
So to Bo's Oracle's question, that's why you go.
Yeah, and that's why you don't just be like, and slump the shoulders. You go, look at what's happened. It's not just about the list player by player. It is just it's so many different combinations of things. And what happens is players go wings. I'll look back on that Richmond dynasty, which I use as the cornerstone of what I want to achieve for the Essendon Football Club. And you cannot tell me in any of those years that they were at the top list in the competition. They had 6 players floating around that just tackled and pressured like they were being chased by the police, because they believed in whatever was happening at that football club. Like it was.
Leave. So we're going to hire Ted Lasso.
Yeah, we're going to hire Ted
Perfect.
Lasso.
All right, let's do quarter 4. This is good.
All right. Well,
That's the quarter 4 siren. We're 50 minutes in.
do we say quarter 4?
Stalking David Hill.
Yeah, okay. He looks quite handsome. But yeah, I think we save quarter 4.
Okay.
Trying to, and some of our listeners wrote in of the best.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why we have the producer here, because he knows not to take us over an hour.
Which is our promise.
Promise here. I'm trying to see if there was a few things we missed. Oh, we did miss. We will share. So the Oracle did race the Fujitsu Flame on March 30th, 2024, but we'll get back to that. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah, that we chose Harry Jones over Patrick Voss, and Patrick Voss is now one of the best forwards in the league. I did my Nick Watson rant. All right, top 5 group chats. Names. So, coming in number 1, the Sullivan Roby Appreciation Society.
And my other one is Bondi Bondbirds.
And Bondi Bondbirds. So we're going to name another 3 or 4 after this. So the first one, which is incredible that it came in, and it's from one of the great Nuffies as well. I won't name him yet, but he's been messaging me about 9 times a day. The Judd Lalich for centre half back. That's it. They've just left it as that for a long time. If you make another comment like that, I'll lose it. So we're the Sullivan Roby Appreciation Society. We have another one, some of the greatest Nuffies I've ever met, who, again, message now 12 times a day. The girth of Sully Roby's quads.
That's great. That's a good one.
That's it. That's really, really good. The next one we had, there's one we can't read, which we won't, but the next one, it's okay. It's I Heard a Rumor.
Clever.
HIRD, obviously.
Yep.
And then the final one, again, there's a couple we're not going to read just to keep it PG, is Captain Jack Farrow.
That's good.
Of which we've actually produced a little movie poster of as well. So we will post that tonight. So thanks for sending those in. They are great. And yeah, I mean, Judd Lalich, we haven't spoken or thought about for a long time, but the fact that Sully Roby is getting the runs he deserves across the board, and whether he's on peptides or not is neither here nor there. Now, we are going to spend next week, though, quarter 4. We're going to go through 8,000 and probably 12 days by then.
I don't think we'll win a final the next week.
No, we're not going to win a final next week. We're going to go player by player, and we're going to compare them to a pretty strong team. Like, my first assessment, just as a sneak peek, was that maybe we get one player over the line against that 18.
Yeah.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you who that is. I'm going to say it's Nate Caddy that we get over the line. I don't know.
Are we going to compare it to the team we faced Geelong or the team?
I think the team we faced Adelaide. Hopefully there's only one change that's not too big. So anyway, we're very excited. We apologize that we derailed the pod for about 3 minutes there. But look, we're trying to stay positive. We've lost again by over 10 goals.
Yep.
We are bottom of the ladder.
Yep.
We're going to win a 3rd or 4th wooden spoon in the history of the club. It's all about the Sangiovese, the positivity, and just bringing out the Marvel hack.
The Marvel hack.
Bringing everyone together, because it's going to change, and we know it's going to change. It's going to be so bloody sweet.
It's all about bringing back
the red and black.
Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends.
We'll see you next week.
He's tired.
That's enough.
There you go.